Do you ever wonder why diets are so alluring? Maybe it's because they promise quick weight loss. We're going to talk about that in this video, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Neily with Neily on Nutrition, registered dietitian nutritionist and a certified health coach, helping women develop a healthy relationship with food. In a recent video, I talked about why fad diets are so appealing and the allure of them. I'm going to dive just a little bit deeper with that today and just talk about kind of how they work, especially the low-carb diets in particular. In future videos, I will talk about what I do recommend and what are more reasonable approaches. And so to make sure that you don't miss any of those videos, hit the red subscribe button and the bell icon so you can get notified of my upcoming videos. You might be getting messages that you're not good enough, just the way you are, and maybe you're even giving those messages to yourself. You know, why is it that we have this arbitrary number on the scale, like we have to attain? It's kind of crazy. You know, people don't see a number like it's not plastered to your forehead. People see you. They see your vitality. They see your confidence. They see your energy. That's what people see. They don't see that number on the scale. But yet diets are so appealing, so alluring for people to get that weight off. Like they feel they're not worthy enough with some extra weight, being a larger body. It's crazy. I want to talk about the diuresis effect, or that water loss that people experience. It's often what is so alluring, especially on these low-carb diets. You know, first it was Atkins, and then Atkins kind of went away, and then Paleo took its place. And now, of course, keto is the darling of the diet world. But let's talk about the effect of low-carb diets and why they're so efficient at getting that weight off. I'll tell you how the diuresis effect works. I'm going to use Mary as an example. Mary is yet again going on another diet, and Monday morning she hops on the scale. This is the highest weight she's going to be, she thinks, because it's her new day of the keto journey. She embarks on this keto plan, and in a week she's lost 8 pounds. She's thrilled, excited, woohoo, she thinks. But what did she lose? What is the composition of that weight loss? You know what it is? Most of it is water. Let's talk about why. Here's the thing. If you don't eat carbohydrates, your body will draw upon the stored carbohydrate in your body. We store carbohydrate in the form of something called glycogen, and we store it in the liver and in the muscle. So if you don't eat carbohydrates, your body's going to use up those stored carbohydrates called glycogen. Here's the thing. With every part of glycogen that we have, we store 3 to 4 parts water. So don't eat carbs, you lose glycogen, those stored carbs, you lose water, and the scale goes down. Bingo! That's what that effect is, especially that first week embarking on a low-carb diet. That's why it's so exciting to people, because they see that weight loss. But it's weight. It is not fat weight that is being lost. How to gain weight back? Eat carbs. And you will eat them, because life is just too short not to. A low-carb diet is just not sustainable. A typical low-carb diet might be 20% of your calories from carbs, when an average diet is 50 to 60% of your calories from carbs. On a keto type diet, though, it's as low as 5 to 10% of your calories from carbohydrates. Another reason there's weight loss is something called ketosis. The body goes into a state of ketosis when you go on a very low carb diet. And I mean like less than 50 grams of carbohydrates a day. How much is 50 grams? I'll tell you, it's not much. So just to give you an idea, so this sweet potato is just shy of about 50 grams of carbohydrates. That's what you're eating in a whole day. And, or, for example, these apples. Each of these apples is about 25 grams of carbohydrate. Also, that's it for the whole day. Or these little weenie Cokes. Each of these little 8-ounce, 7.5-ounce Cokes is 25 grams of carbohydrate. So 50 grams right here. Now, of course, there's a huge nutritional difference between these Cokes and those other plant-based foods. But still, they're the carbohydrates, and you're supposed to limit them. Big difference between the type of carbohydrates that we eat. So as I heard one time, there's a big difference between a lentil and a lollipop, but they're both carbohydrates. Another reason there's weight loss is something called ketosis. But one of the appeals of ketosis is that what happens when your body goes into ketosis? It suppresses the appetite, so you're not as hungry, which is one of the good things about getting protein in your meals, because it gives you that satiating effect and some good fats. But your hunger decreases, so you eat less. Ketosis is actually a starvation mechanism. Imagine if people have no food to eat. Do we want them to be hungry? No, Because if they're hungry, what are they going to be doing? They're going to be going searching for food that they don't have around. So no food available, people suppress their appetite, and they don't go looking for food. So it's just kind of one of the ways the body has been built to, I guess you could say, save ourselves. So diets often do work for a short time. And I know that people get very excited about that initial weight loss that they see. And for some people, they can keep it up. But for most people, it's just not sustainable. How many people do you know went on a low carb diet like Atkins or something, and they lost weight, but were they able to keep it off? Probably not. And they might have tried to go back to it again and again. I talked about this in my last video. People just have a tendency to be successful that first time around, but it rarely happens. That magic rarely happens the second, third, and fourth time around. So back to Mary. Yeah, she lost weight at first, and she was excited for a period of time. Her motivation was high, but eventually she got bored. The food got boring, limited choices, and she ended up just missing the carbohydrates too much, missing the natural sweetness of fruit. So she ended up actually binging and gaining her weight back, which is not uncommon, unfortunately. Diets are restrictive, and they cause, unfortunately, this cycle of yo-yo dieting and deprivation, restriction and deprivation, and therefore often binging. You know, and unfortunately, Mary, she thinks that she's a failure. She failed again. No, she did not fail again. The diet failed her. You know, diets are like that bad boyfriend that keeps coming back over and over again. You just can't get rid of them. Now, I know that there are many keto advocates, just like there were Atkins advocates and Paleo advocates and gluten-free advocates. You know, I get that. But for the majority of people, weight loss is just not sustainable because it's not realistic. It is not nutrition you can live with. I think the best diet is the diet that you don't know you're on. And can you see yourself doing this several years down the road for a lifetime? If not, then consider something else. Furthermore, a diet like keto requires a lot of discipline and almost an obsession with food and what you're going to eat. And it's just not really, emotionally, it's just not a healthy way to live. So please get off that diet roller coaster. So as a reminder, go on a low carb diet, lose glycogen, that's stored carbohydrate, lose weight in the way of water, scale goes down, but it's not going to stay down. And you know that because you've done it over and over again. And of course, to make sure that you don't miss any upcoming videos, make sure that you've hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and stick around because you don't want to miss my bloopers. All right? Thanks for watching Neily on Nutrition, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. And maybe it's perhaps eating certain foods, avoiding certain foods, following cats. Woo. You okay, Lex? That was weird.